You are highly welcome to my YouTube channel. Good evening, good afternoon, it depends on what the time is in your own area, but I welcome you. I thank you for being with me. Please remember to hit the like button and then below this recording. Then again, remember to share extensively because you need to demonstrate love for others by helping them. A lot of people might be waiting for this message to bless them, so it may be timely. Then number 3, remember please to hit the notification button so that anytime I upload a video, you get to know about it. God bless you. Now, I'm continuing. This is part 2 of my series on living a life of peace with all men, that is, being at peace with all men. My own example, I've always said it, I don't like to manufacture experiences, but I always like to speak about what I know, what I've experienced, what I've done, so it may help you. Then, like I said, peace should be everywhere, and I'm for peace. Anywhere, if you have ever come across me, you will see that God has always used me as a rallying point for peace. I really appreciate it. God has given it to me right from when I was young. I told you, I said, even from my polygamous background, there has, in fact, if there is anything, God has been using me as an instrument for attaining peace anywhere, no matter where I find myself. Peace at home, whether it is monogamous or polygamous, peace in school, even when I was schooling, peace in marriage, peace in place of work, peace in the church, peace in the community, peace, 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 everywhere, wherever I find myself. And I love peace. I love peace. I love propagating peace. Now, from part 1, I gave some example. Let's take an example of how God has helped me to manage a polygamous home. For instance, I had 2 homes. If you have read my autobiography or listened to my previous recordings on some of the examples I've given about my life before, you will see that, I have cited some examples. Now, in area of polygamous home, I did mention, and I'm still repeating, if you are born into a polygamous home, don't be foolish to dabble into the war that you find yourself in. And I've given the example. In a polygamous home, it's always struggle, jealous, and the commanders in a polygamous home are the women. The number of women you have are the number of commanders that you have there. And everybody recruits his her children as maybe foot soldiers or strikers from the air. That is, when women are nursing their children, in fact, they promote hatred among the children, which should never be. Number 1, the father is the cause of the whole thing. So, and the mothers won't tolerate themselves. But the children, unfortunately, foolishly join in the race, something that didn't concern them. All that children in the polygamous home need to do is to isolate their mothers in particular. The moment you are able to isolate your own mother, and others are able to isolate their own mother, and you will be able to think straight. What is right? What does God want? How can you... and the bottom line of everything is love. Love covers all sins. You children, if the women are busy fighting themselves, isolate yourselves. Be busy promoting and helping yourselves. Let no single one among you from one mother discriminate against the other woman's mother. Let me tell you, this polygamous thing, people have been saying whether if you are polygamous you go to heaven or not. Leave the man alone. Oh. God knows how to settle that one. But you that are children in that family, you hold the pillar to peace. If all of you as children can unite together, you will calm the storm that your mothers are springing all the time, because one woman will be so anxious as to property, the other one will compete that the other child is being taken care of financially in terms of school fees and other, and they just begin to compete with themselves, unnecessary competition, and the man is not at peace. Don't worry, he has dabbled into into trouble. And interestingly, the man is not even thinking about all these women. When the pressure is too much, as I said earlier, I will just walk away. In fact, the next thing is, if the ones at home are fighting, we'll go and hibernate elsewhere again. Before you knew it, another one has gone. And that's how it will cause him the problem, unless God really touches his heart. So you children, how, for instance, did I manage my own experience in a polygamous home, in my 2 polygamous homes? Peace. One thing is, I love all my brothers and my sisters. I see all of us as siblings. Oyinbo will say half brother, half sister. I don't understand. I think I mentioned that earlier. Me, Africa, I loved Africa for that. You're either a brother, a sister, a mother, or father. No stepmother, no stepfather, no, just your father is your father, your mother is your mother. And see yourself as a uniting front. That's what I do in a family. Try to balance. What I do to my mother, I do to my other mothers. My mother, they are my mother. Thank God today, my own mother is gone, and my second mother is gone. The remaining one, by God's grace, is still alive, and I pray that she will still live so long, to enjoy the fruit of her labor. So, but thank God for my home. It's unique in the sense that, to God be the glory, we the children, all that concerned us is to take care of the women, our mothers and our fathers. And we did that to the fullest till our father died, until 2 of our mothers, who are late now, went. They went peacefully. It's not as if they don't quarrel, but we never side them. We are on our own corner. They are on their own corner. What concerns us is care. Care for everybody. Don't care for your own mother alone. Care for. And then another thing that I always say is that never be on the side of your mother. A lot of us, we just go on ahead, begin to side our mother, whether they are wrong or not. The moment you are siding one, in fact, it is better to side the other woman, even if she's wrong. It's better for you to be on the side of the other woman. But more importantly, always foster unity through love. Care for every one of them. Care for every one of them uniformly. You say uniformly? And then I should give the same thing I gave to my mother but they are all your mothers. So you need to take care of them uniformly. And then don't have time. We always have one thing in our own family. We don't have time for all this talk. We feed them with the word of God. We appeal to their conscience. In fact, we always, and look at the way God works. In every polygamous home, while the women and everybody and children who are stupid, they are quarreling with one another, God is blessing everybody from each branch. Let me tell you, people have been saying one child is legitimate, the other one is illegitimate. Well, it is still the same human judgment, tradition, born out of self-centeredness. God Almighty sees every child as his own. It doesn't matter whether it's the child of the first woman or the second woman or the third woman. No, 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 no. Children belong to God. Our mothers, our fathers, they are just vehicles through which we came to the world. The moment we realize that, we always maintain peace. Let's look at peace in the school. For example, during my school days, like I said, any school I went, there's no place I didn't make impact. I spent only 1 year in the United Christian Secretarial College, Apapa in Lagos. Within that 1 year, I organized student unionism. I introduced it, and within that year, we had an effective, student body that actually made sure that there was peace in our school, and we did everything possible. The school was happy, the students were happy, everything. God used me as an instrument to bring about that. And interestingly, after our set left, that could not be sustained. So I don't know what happened thereafter. But it's just to let you know that wherever I am, peace is what I focus upon. Then peace in marriage. This is a very, very important thing. I thank God again. My wife is my sister. She's my mother. She's my, what do you call them? Just name it. She's my benefactor. She's peace. I always ensure that I carry my wife along in everything that I do. There was a time we were talking, I think there was a comment, I think one of my children made the comment. My children, I think if I remember very well, during my birthday, Bode Ajayi, she said, he said, one thing that I love about Daddy is this. He said, anytime he speaks about the marriage, he would say, we. He uses we. That he never says, I do this one, I do this one, I do the one in the family as the head. No, no, no. He said, and one of my children also, I think, made mention of said, one of the things I admire about Daddy is that, okay, anytime we are talking, we say, we, your mom and I have discussed. So, you see, when you carry your wife along in whatever you do, if you don't have a hidden agenda, what is on your phone that you are hiding? Then, if you don't have a hidden agenda, why is it that you cannot bear your mind open to your wife? It means you have carried Delilah. I thank God I didn't carry Delilah. I have a Ruth as a wife. I have the like of Esther as a wife. So why wouldn't I open up? There's nothing I want to do or in the family that it is not a joint that we will not do together. There's nothing. I don't single-handedly do anything. My pay slip is open. Everything is open, and we plan together what to do. So no matter if you don't carry yourself along, then there is no marriage. Peace. And it has helped us in everything we do, either in our parenting, in everything, in managing the extended family members, in doing everything. We are able to, in managing our homes generally, everything peace. And today, I'm at peace with my wife. She's at peace with me. I'm at peace with our children. Every one of us, we are at peace with one another. So it has helped. And okay, let's look at peace again in place of work. This is another thing. I'm still going to talk about my life as a social, do you call it social engineer? I don't want to use this word critic or whatever. I don't like the word critic. I like molding, something that social engineering. I will talk about that. My various activities I've participated in to better the lot of humanity wherever I find myself. Now, at work, I discovered that God also gave me that opportunity. With everyone, I relate with my subordinates as if I'm relating with my own direct children, as if I'm relating with my immediate family. Anyone that is under me, to honestly speaking, I take them to my family. We all, relate together. Even long after we must have parted ways, we still remember ourselves. Today, thank God for social media. We are still well connected today. Even those that were 20, 30 years ago, we remember ourselves for good. Peace. I don't. And then again, some people have problems in their offices. They fall victims of office politics. I'm a friend of everybody. I'm a friend of everyone, and I prefer it that way. If my boss and his boss is fighting, that is their problem. My own is to make peace between them, if I'm permitted. And I always, I'm interested. I always look for a way to come in to ensure that peace reigns. But for me to side either my boss or my boss's boss against one another, God forbid, I don't think, thank God some of those whom we have worked together, my colleagues and so on, might have senior or junior or fellow colleagues or peers, would attest to this fact. I am not interested in backbiting. I am not interested in manipulating people. I am not. And what is even more, there is nothing I know, and it really stood me in good stead. There is nothing I know as a leader that I don't pass on to my subordinates. Nothing, absolutely nothing, because I believe that indeed it helped me a number of ways. That if I'm not in the office, my subordinates will perform what I will perform. The only difference between us is that, well, God has made me the head, and I can think ahead of time. They can do what I can do. They may not be able to think ahead as I will do, which is what makes the difference. I can plan ahead, they can effect, and I encourage them to even kind of, And then two, I unite all my workers together. We hold meetings where we share ideas, we do everything to see that everybody is operating in peace. I don't side one against the other. So I've never been a victim of office politics. Interestingly, I was this boss of mine that his own boss was after him, and it was a bitter one. Unfortunately, I and my boss came from the same geographical location in Nigeria. And unfortunately, the boss of my boss was thinking that because of that affinity, maybe I would be sympathetic towards him, and he was like extending the it was like he was extending the trouble between him, And one day I told him, I said in the first place, "Excuse me, sir." When it became obvious, I said, "Excuse me, sir. This our organization does not employ mediocres. If they take you as a cleaner or as anything, they know you are capable. I am here to do this work. I am not here to be a stooge for anybody. I am not on the side of anybody, whether you or my boss, that you think we are related together." Well, and interestingly, I did make mention of that. Maybe either of them can be watching this program, they will remember the story. They said, "Sorry, the fact that I'm on the path of peace and I'm on the path of unity. Let us do the work and be friends." I believe I have a boss, very, very, very straightforward, a gentleman, that, his own principle is this: the work has brought us together. Let us do it together. If we did it well, we can become friends. But if we don't do it well, we can become enemies. It doesn't matter. If you don't do the work well and it implicates me as your boss, it's a problem. Let's do the work first. If it is necessary for us to be friends, we'll be friends. If it is not necessary, everybody goes his own way. So He will tell you he's a perfectionist to the core. Make a mistake, he will tell you. And he won't cover you before anybody. And if you do it well, he will praise you to the high heavens. And by the special grace of God, is one leader that I really, really respect. I respected him so much because I like truthfulness. Tell me where I'm going wrong, and we're at peace all through. So, those of you who are siding one boss, your boss will be fired one day. You yourself can be fired one day. So, when the next person comes, are you now going to? It's just the same thing. I'm still going to talk about this, the way it happens in the church too. Some people, the day they sack their boss is the day they themselves are sacked. Because everybody knows that they are stooges. Be yourself. Do your work well. If you are competent, you don't need to be to bow so low. Don't be proud, but you don't need to descend so low as to be somebody's boy. No. Do the best you can do in your organization. That assignment given to you, that portion, do it well. It will elevate your boss. It will make him not to complain. So, and then the organization will be for the better for us. Now, let's go to church. If there is one place, those who are members of all the churches where I have fellowshipped from when I was young, particularly the last church, CAC, which preceded the last church, RCCG, where I even became a pastor. Many of you will testify to the fact that if there is anything those people can remember me for, I believe it is peacemaking. If there is the higher I grew in the church, the more the challenges I have in peacemaking. Because I will also wonder what has always been the cause of people fighting in the church and all sorts of things. But I will always offer myself to offer solutions. And God really helped me tremendously. And I believe I succeeded in that one too. Finally, peacemaking in the community. I'm a member of the governing body in my community. I'm for peace. Every one of us who may be from Inyo will know my little contributions towards peace. I love my town. I don't want any evil to happen there. And anything peaceful is my own focus. And I thank God nobody will sees me with any evil or any manipulation or whatever. I like peace, and wherever there is, that's why, in fact, I think I'm so engaged in making peace here and there in such a way that wherever I find myself, it is peace. Brethren, in rounding up, be a man or a woman of peace. Always subscribe to peace. Make endeavor. If you see whatever is going wrong, rally around to make sure that it is settled. Anywhere you find yourself, be a peacemaker. Among your own siblings, be a peacemaker. Among your extended members of families, be a peacemaker. In the church of God, be a peacemaker. Anywhere you find yourself, be a peacemaker. God does not dwell in a rowdy place. He does not dwell in the disorderly place. When there was no peace in the world, the first thing God commanded, let there be peace. And when light came, there was peace. And then when the storm was heavy, Jesus said, peace, be still. Peace should be your focus. Peace has been my focus right from time. It has worked for me. And I thank God for it. That's one of my purposes in life. And I thank God I'm fulfilling it. Let us all live in peace with one another. Those of you who know me on social media too will see that in as much as sometimes I speak harshly, I am cautious of one thing. I don't want to underrate anybody. Peace. Even if we disagree on issue, let us still remain friends. Because it is in friendship that there is peace. When there is anomaly and keeping malice, peace will elude me or will elude my so-called opponent. I don't believe in this idea of enemy here, enemy there. If you want to enjoy your life, put enemies aside, love people, love God, love fellow men as yourself, and you'll find that peace will come, because there is a lot to gain wherever there is peace. So, brethren, please endeavor to share this video. Some homes are burning, some families are not together. Be the champion in your own home. Spearhead it. If nobody will spearhead peacemaking, be the one. And as you do, it's not easy, because if things have gone really wrong and you now want to show love, some people will accuse you of wanting. Don't bother. Go ahead and be a proponent of peace. God bless you. God bless you. And God bless you. See you again on my next video. Remember to please share this video extensively. I love you. Bye for now.